Here we are, folks. Game 1 of Team Placeholder versus Control Alt Delete. Get all these guys in order, just like that. Now, no real interesting starts coming out from everybody. Pretty standard. Now, flash start for Sion, knowing that the Maokai poke is going to be a little bit of a problem. Now, Maokai's not going to go. Hopefully, Water Dragon doesn't level up. Wow, I'm blanking here. Leveling up Sapling. Usually Maokai's favor that Arcane Smash, but Sion is going to try to out-sustain Maokai in lane. Now, Maokai did get some nerfs to his early level sustain, so he should get poked out quite a bit, especially with that Doran start. Water Dragon wanting to go aggressive, but if he can't make anything happen, Jorman is just going to out-sustain him with that flask. We'll see what the battle of the tanks up in the top lane is. Now it looks like both eBag and Apollo are going to start at their respective bottom half of the map, going to opt for that leash. But Water Dragon coming into here. Jorman catches him out. Mesu with a flank. Water Dragon getting a ton of damage in. Nice bombs coming out from Mesu, poking him down. Is forced to use that pot as Water Dragon will just go back to lane. A little too late to go back to the fountain. Will miss it out. Jarrett just spamming that wave on Sivir as both mid laners take their positions now. So that's a little bit of a mistake. Water Dragon forced to use that early pot in lane. Going to be fine though. But that's one less pot that Jorman has to really worry about. Now, no early wards coming out from both supports. A little bit of an interesting pickup there. Nice power chord poke from Kaza. Trying to put pressure onto Quantum. As the CS advantage for Jarrett is there. They are trying to rush for level 2. It's so very hard to stop Sivir from getting to first. Now, in all honesty, I would have much rather liked Apollo to give away that crump to Quantum to get that early level 2. It would have helped them out in lane. Gragas could use the hit early, but next level strat's not going to be a thing right now. Quantum getting poked out quite a bit by that Sona being very annoying. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, it's pretty even right now. Both mid laners just opting to farm out. No real poke coming out. Quantum already chunked out right now. Is sitting on a third health. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like Water Dragon is pushing back Jorman quite a bit. Already taking a CS advantage there, Apollo. Going to secure his full clear for both junglers. Quite interesting. Now, I am probably going to see both Trailblazers coming out from both junglers. I wonder if they're going to rush the Cinder Hulk first or finish their Trailblazers. That is also a stylistic choice that I'm really interested about. Now, one nets you more gold and the other one helps you clear faster. So really, it is a little bit of give and take on that front. But it is going to be a Trailblazer first for Apollo. He does pick up a nice green ward as well. Might go for a gank right now. Actually, instead, pings out that crump. So we might see a gank coming out. Jarrett and Kaza are pushed quite a bit far into lane. Now eBag has returned, but a pause is set up. I don't really know what the dealio is on this pause. Hopefully it's nothing too severe. But speaking of which, both junglers are opting for that Trailblazers first. Now eBag is actually picked up an early pink. Probably a much better call. He does have quite a bit more farm than Apollo. Was probably able to buy that. But just like that, oh, there was a little bit of a lag issue, but it seems like it resumed right now. The farm discrepancy is favoring Water Dragon in that top lane, though. Arcane Smash. Quantum falling dangerously low with that power chord. The poke coming out from Kaza is just too strong right now. But here comes Apollo, going to see if he can make something happen. No, we'll just opt to ward out the river. It does get pinged out by team placeholder, though, say they know it is. Spooky Spaghetti getting pushed out under his lane, though. Ebeg is at the Raptor camp, trying to see if they can bait out Mesu. But it looks like Apollo is not going to opt out for any early aggression. Jarman, though, getting chunked out by Water Dragon right there. Both top laners have yet to actually go back. Jarman finally munching away at his pots and boots, but he is going to lose a lot of farm. eBay coming up from behind. Mesu has that satchel charge up, is able to just satchel away from there, but gets poked out. Those Twin Fang damages just so much. Spooky Spaghetti needs to get out of there, though. He is running Apollo is there for the counter gang, just a little bit late, but even with aggression, no summoners wasted for either side. But Mesu gets away with such a satchel shard. Now Quantum getting forced out of the turret. Really, they need to back from there. He could probably afford Scepter. Actually, Ebeg going for round 2, forcing Mesu out. Apollo's still here, though. Ebeg gonna run away as the poke comes out from both Apollo and Mesu. Not going to find anything. Spooky Spaghetti is out of mana and is just going to opt out to recall. Most likely going to pick up a Chalice, or his tier first, mind you. And there it is, the tier pickup for Spooky Spaghetti. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Water Dragon is running quite low with all the poke that he's put onto Jorman. And Jorman is still sitting on 1 charge of Flask left. But the CS advantage is just too much up in that top lane. A grand total of 15 Catalyst already picked up for Water Dragon. While Jorman has still yet to back right now. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, it looks like the CS advantage again for Jarrett is evident right there. The poke onto Quantum not going unanswered, though, as he is losing so much CS to it. Getting forced under tower is quite hard, especially to CS in the early levels. But speaking of getting pushed under tower, Jorman doing his best to CS under tower, but Water Dragon being such an annoyance. Those boomerang damage, Quantum being dropped so low. Chaos Claw needs to get out of there too, finally forcing out the recall. And it looks like there's pings coming out from a team placeholder for that dragon. Apollo is waiting around the area. Does drop a ward in the river, so they will see it. Meanwhile, Spooky Spaghetti getting poked out. Besu doing a great job, though, getting ahead in farm. He's the only person winning his lane in farm right now. But Apollo actually opting to grab the second blue, not handing that over to Mesu. Ebeg was right around the corner. If he had the timer for it, could have essentially stolen it. Mesu, though, getting dove under the turret. Ebeg getting quite a bit. Gets actually satcheled into the turret. Mesu gets actually first blood. Apollo grabbing a double kill. Well, Mega Inferno Bomb I thought would pick up Ebeg, but Apollo gets the double. Great satchel from Mesu, though, forcing Ebeg deeper into the turret. Quite a bit of a ballsy dive, not paying off for team placeholder, and they do pay for it quite harshly. Now, unfortunately, those 2 kills did go over to Apollo. Not particularly the person that you want to, but let's see if Apollo can make something happen with that early lead that he's established right now. Meanwhile, Jorman's done a really great job. Picked up that Spectral Scowl as his first back. Going to be quite safe now against the poke coming out from Water Dragon. And here it is. Oh, nice crescendo coming out onto Quantum. He gets caught out. Does force to pop the heal, but a flash from Jared is there. Quantum's going to go down. Jared picks up the kill. And that is going to be that, folks. As I said, Quantum can't afford to get caught out by that CC. Nice level 6 initiation. Unfortunately, Quantum and Chaos were not level 6 yet. And with that kill, Placeholder secures the first dragon, and they do tie up, even coming out quite a bit ahead in gold, considering the fact that almost all their lanes are winning in CS right now. Now, I'm a little worried about Spooky Spaghetti. He is severely behind and is not winning his lane like we are normally seeing right now. Hopefully they can kick him while he's down. Meanwhile, there's a tank fight coming out top, but with no jungler pressure, I doubt we're gonna see any solo kills up in the top lane. These beast mode of tanks right now, hardly taking any damage. But it looks like Ctrl Alt Delete are just gonna clear out the dragon wards. Knew it was taken. They should have the estimated time for it. Meanwhile, eBeg is opting to take out that second blue again. Both these junglers getting a little bit greedy. Their mid laners are pretty mana intensive at the start. Could have used it. Apollo, though, is coming in for the gank. Let's see if he has body slams into the minions. Silly Apollo, you cannot go through minions. You're not playing Sejuani. But with 3 members of Placeholders in the mid lane, it looks like they're just gonna back off. Kaza spotting that pink ward there. It's a nice. Quantum has a nice wave though, frozen in the bot lane. He is going to get that solo XP and some solo farm, something that Vaynes desperately need. Now with an interesting item choice, the dagger coming out from Jarrett is a little bit weird. It delays his Infinity Edge, but he is just opting for tier 2 boots first. So a little weird, going for that early attack speed, delaying his Infinity Edge. I don't really agree with that choice, but we'll have to see what happens. Now for the Glory, already finished a Water Dragon, going to be that supportive role yet again, but here comes the tank battle. Jorman needs to get out of there though, as Team Placeholders are all collapsing onto him. 4 members of Team Placeholder are up here, and Jorman needs to get out of dodge right now. eBag over the wall, will tower dive this. No one's nice Ice Prism, and that's going to be one dead sign right there. Water Dragon actually picking up the kill. Now Apollo is there. Mega Inferno Bomb not hitting anything, and Placeholder grabbed the second tower of the game. Kaza falling dangerously low, but is going to get away with his life. Spooky Spaghetti trying to just be annoying. Nice ultimate though on Apollo. Placeholder is collapsing onto him, but Apollo is going to get out of there thanks to some threatening Mesu there with the bombs. Now TP used from Water Dragon to pick up this huge wave that was building thanks to Quantum's split push. But they do not have TP now. TP advantage for Jorman and Ctrl Alt Elite. Now if I was Ctrl Alt Elite, I would not contest the second dragon. You're not really in a place to contest at the moment. Placeholder is ahead of them in both items and in farm, except for that mid lane. But I would definitely try to catch up in towers. Really, dragon fights are your bane if you are Ctrl Alt Delete. Just with so much CC coming out from Team Placeholder, it would not be smart. They really need to just focus on towers, get that global gold, get that global pressure, and contest maybe 3rd or 4th dragon when it's a little later onto the game and they're a bit stronger. But it does all hinge on Mesu and Quantum, who can't afford to get caught out right now. Jarrett getting some solo farm up in the top lane. They know he's strong. Not going to get caught out unawares. Actually has enough gold to finish that Infinity Edge. Just needs to go back for it. So a great power spike for Jarrett. Now recurve bow for Quantum being picked out, they did do a little bit of a change. We are playing on patch 5.8. I don't know how the teams have adjusted to it, if they have at all, but I honestly don't know if recurve bow was changed to a point where now Veins are rushing it. Yes, 10 damage. Body slam though gets hit by Jared, going to spell shield the casket and get out cleanly. That was a great spell shield timing for Jared. Not getting anything done. Now Grega's ulti is on cooldown. Won't have it up. Dragon is spawning in 20 seconds. And Quantum getting caught out with, oh my goodness, it is a crescendo and twisted advance. Nice flash coming out. Ultra Mega Death Rocket. Oh, Ultra Mega Death Rocket. Ultra Inferno Bomb. Too many ultras. It's just going to clear that wave. And Quantum is going to get away with his life. Here comes the Sign ultimate though. He does catch E-Bag. Not the person that you want. Slows on Spooky though. Mesu not in position to follow that initiation up. But Control Alt Delete just wasting way too many ultis before this dragon can't possibly contest this. This is a folly. Nice Ice Prism on Mesu as they pile on. Placeholder will not get though as a flash on Mesu. Jorman gets caught out and is chunked out right now. A lot of damage. Water Dragon doing a lot to zone. Jorman falls in the back line. Mesu trying to poke, but Apollo is getting run down right now. Jarrett falling dangerously low as Jorman will pick up Jarrett off the back line, but it's a 1-for-2 trade. As I say that, Water Dragon getting caught a bit, but Control Alt Delete, bars blinking red, need to back off. And it is a 1-for-2 trade. So yeah, so far, and I think that's just gonna be it. And a dragon, second dragon going over to placeholders. Again, not a fight that Control Alt Delete was wanting to take or should take. They wasted the Scion ultimate, they wasted the Gragas ultimate before the dragon spawned, and they are just not in a position really to contest these dragons yet. They really need to focus on towers, avoid team fights as much as possible until they get their front line tanky and until Quantum really gets going on that vein. Because until then, they are just so outscaled. QSS really needs to be picked up. Chaos, I would love to see a Crucible on him right now. A Merkales, however you want to pronounce it. Just to help appeal for this very susceptible vein. But Jared actually getting quite poked out by Jorman. Now, he does not have any armor, so Jorman going for that full Spirit Visage. I would have... It looks like he is going for Sunfire instead. I would have much rather seen a Frozen Heart coming out of him. But they might put that Frozen Heart onto Apollo. We'll have to wait and see. Now, great vision for Control Alt Delete in their own jungle, but they don't have any deep wards whatsoever. And it looks like Placeholder is going to just pressure this last tier 1 turret. Meanwhile, both ADCs are getting a solo farm and solo XP in the side lanes. Quantum desperately trying to catch up in farm to Jarrett. But Blade of the Ruined King finally finished for Quantum. Now, did they change the recipe? I don't think so. Of Blade of the Ruined King. Again, we are playing on the very new patch. I have yet to actually take an in-depth look at it. I do have some Sparka notes just to see if we were going to see any interesting picks like a Rise or a Kha'Zix jungle. But blue going over to Mesu. Going to need it, but they're... Oh, blue buff, you troll. Actually resetting multiple times. Hopefully the red doesn't get it. Oh, I think that blue went over to Apollo. Oh, no it didn't. But Kaza is putting in some deep wards of Control Alt Delete. Apollo going in, does not have support of his team though, only has Chaos. It looks like they're just gonna back out, clear the wards being placed down. But Team Placeholder definitely flexing their lead right now as they are putting some aggressive wards in here. The split push is happening. Apollo getting chunked out. Now I really like that double sight stone coming out from Control Alt Delete. It's definitely helping them wrestle Control. But Apollo not switching his ward to a sweeper though. Must have forgotten. A common mistake after grabbing that sight stone and not switching that trinket. But 3 members will catch out Spooky Spaghetti. Spooky is forced to flash out. TP coming out from Water Dragon to a set of advance onto Apollo. Nice exploding casket, but Ebag's here too. Meanwhile, in the back, Kaza crescendos. Scion ultimate missing right now as Team Placeholder come together as 5. They want this fight right now as they put a ton of damage onto Jorman, but he's just too tanky at the moment. Nobody dying quite a bit, but Team Placeholder will press the issue. A nice Inferno Bomb clearing out the wave to stall this push from Team Placeholder. Control Alt Delete will buy a little bit of time, but they don't have that Sign ultimate, and Jorman is quite low. Apollo wants to recall right now, as Control Alt Delete are trying to hold off this push from Team Placeholder. Now they do have a top wave pushing in their favor that Water Dragon is going to clear out. So they do have the numbers advantage in mid, but I don't think Control Alt Delete have the necessary health bars or the necessary cooldowns to take this fight. Now speaking of which, it is going to be a Luden's Echo first on Spooky Spaghetti. An interesting pickup, but I really can't blame him. Meanwhile, there's going to be a Chalice for Messu. Is sitting on that needlessly large rod. I wonder what he's going to make that into. Probably, most likely, a death cap. I don't think Messu is that scared enough to buy a Zhonya's first. But Quantum again trying to get as much farm as he possibly can. Jorman has revisited his top lane, pushing out that wave. Now Control Alt Elite have yet to get any towers. And with the 3rd dragon coming out, they need to make their move, or else they are just giving up free dragons and not trading for anything. The wave clear from Messu should be able to push out the waves fast enough, but they really need Quantum to be able to take out the turrets fast enough. And just like that, Placeholder taking the 3rd dragon. Nice satchel to disengage, but it's just too much. The move speed was so great. Sign ultimate knocking out. Inferno Bomb chalking out. Will pick up Kaza. Spooky Spaghetti dropping quite low along with Ebag and Jared. Do they have the cleanup though? I don't think they have enough. And Team Placeholder getting away with an inch of their life right now. Messu, again with that death cap pickup, forcing the recalls of Team Placeholder. They surely will get that middle turret now. Water Dragon going to do his best to try to zone out. The wave clear is good. But they do chunk out that middle turret quite a bit. Now, this will have to be really all on the back of Messu. Messu needs to buy as much time for his team as possible to get Quantum into that late game. Does outscale that Sivir, but just on the hunt plus for the glory was just so fast. That engage really caught Control Alt Elite with their pants down. And if it wasn't for Messu right now being 60 farm ahead of Spooky Spaghetti with that Inferno Bomb, that fight could have gone quite sour for Control Alt Elite. Now, Ctrl-Alt-Delete are doing really well to pressure side waves. They are playing this ARAM style. They really should have Jorman split push, considering the fact that his TP up, sending Jorman to the top wave to get that T1 top turret should be a priority right now. Again, they are still down in gold, primarily due to the farm during laning phase, but also because they are down two turrets. So again, they're slowly running out of time as placeholders is threatening for that 5th dragon win condition. And it really relies on how long Ctrl-Alt-Delete can hold off this onslaught of team placeholder. But notable pickups, though. Water Dragon has already completed that Frozen Heart. I really like that pickup, though, considering the fact that he doesn't really want to build all that much health with Vane's Blade of the Ruined King. I would like to see some a Spirit Visage on him, though, next, considering the fact that Mesu is doing so much damage. Speaking of which, getting quite chunked, though, with Spooky Spaghetti's poke. Meanwhile, I'm almost really confused. Jorman might be thinking about getting a For the Glory himself. I think that might be a mistake. He really needs to just be a brick wall right now for his team. But speaking of which, Apollo not opting out for a Frozen Heart, but going for that Giant's Belt. Now, whoa, Casket from Apollo onto Spooky Spaghetti, a little bit preemptive. Now they are down that cooldown. Kaza going a little bit more of an aggressive Sona build, though. I just realized that Morellonomicon picked up for him. Interesting. I would have much rather seen a tier, in all honesty. Stacking that up. I have that mana issue as well for his team. Could have brought an Archangels. And then stack the mana from then on in. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now Spooky Spaghetti has that Degatron cloak, probably going for an Abyssal Scepter. Smart choice right now, knowing that Mesu is doing just a ton of damage. But really, the pace of this game has slowed down quite a bit, as both teams really not doing anything. They're playing an ARAM in mid lane right now. Again, the split pushing not really happening for either team. Ctrl-Alt-Delete is doing the best that they can, though, pushing the sidewaves and making one of the members of Team Placeholder go to sort that out, but then they're not taking objectives. They're very hesitant to commit to a tower. And even with TP advantage for Jorman, they're not sending him top lane. I don't understand this. Dragon is about to spawn right now. They could let this go and take 2 towers, top and mid, but instead it looks like Ctrl-Alt-Delete are just going to contest yet another Baron, or Dragon, mind you, that they are not ready to fight for. I do have to back up, though. They're hoping that they can get a great Inferno Rocket followed up by a knock-up from Jorman, but it's not going to happen. Apollo trying to get the steal. He does get the steal, though, but here comes the Bull Rush comp from Team Placeholder. Water Dragon getting zoned out from the rest of his team. Is this a fight that they can win? Cooldown stat. A Crescendo missing on the back line. Meanwhile, Quantum getting caught out by a Twisted Advance is surely going to go down. That's one. That's 2. That's 3. And a triple kill. Oh, Spooky's not done yet. Quadra 4-team placeholder as they take 4 members of Ctrl Alt Elite down. And at the end of the day, was that worth a dragon? No, it wasn't. And they lose their last T1 turret. Ctrl Alt Elite pushed against the corner right now. Huge window comes out for team placeholder. They are going to be able to roam freely, get those rotations down. They are going to be able to get some deep wards in Ctrl Alt Elite's jungle. And all honesty, even though the warding from Ctrl Alt Elite is good, I don't think they can make anything happen with it. Now it's close to a 7k lead in gold. And in all honesty, I hate calling it before it's even said, but unless Ctrl Alt Elite holds out for maybe another 20 minutes, 15-20 minutes, they're in trouble. They missed their window. They have yet to take any turrets on the map. They've essentially given up 3 dragons for free. So what can Ctrl Alt Elite do to come back into this game? Now, there's an Aegis being built by Kaza. Great pickup by her, considering the fact that Mesu really is the only threat right now. Quantum is 0 and 2. But is finished that Phantom Dancer finally. I really want to see. I can't stress this enough. I want to see a QSS. That's what I want to see from Quantum right now. He really should have gotten it before finishing that Phantom Dancer, in all honesty, if they were wanting to fight, but they haven't. I'm just at a loss of words right now because Ctrl Alt Elite is just playing this very strangely. They're contesting objectives and dragons that favor placeholder with their teamfight comp, but here comes a flank from Ctrl Alt Elite. Water Dragon getting kited though. Jorman and Apollo are tanking the back line, but there's no follow-up damage. Water Dragon, the MVP, just zoning out Mesu and Quantum, and the back not able to put any damage on Quantum, though trying to duel Spooky Spaghetti. Nice, Quantum gets a shutdown. Ebeg though taking a lot of damage. Water Dragon comes in for the kill secure. And just like that, another 3-for-1 trade for team placeholder as they break the base of Ctrl Alt Elite. They're going to pick themselves up. An inhibitor turret might even be an inhib. Most definitely, with only Mesu to wave clear. And just like that, the pressure is put on to Ctrl Alt Elite tenfold as super minions are now going to start streaming into their base. Now, for placeholders, that's the best possible outcome. They win the team fight, they get the bottom inhib, and they can essentially take a free, uncontested Baron and just work in closing the game from then on out with the pressure. Ctrl Alt Elite definitely missing their window. They had a time frame. The 3 dragons could have been exchanged for 3 turrets, but really the mistake of not sending Jorman to split push, especially having TP advantage for most of this game. The use of TP from Ctrl Alt Elite has just been very subpar. and Control Alt Delete really just need a miracle right now. They need to hold off. They need to bank on a mistake from Team Placeholder, but right now, even with a couple mistakes from Team Placeholder, or maybe some subpar plays, not necessarily mistakes, they are team fighting very well and coming out on top. Now, with what I see, 4th Dragon gonna go over to Team Placeholders. They don't have Apollo here to steal. They need to get out of there right now. The casket to disengage as they back away. Quantum, not going for a QSS, is sitting, buys another BF sword. And in all honesty, that's the deal breaker for this game. Well, for me personally right now, that's the deal breaker. QSS was a saving grace. A Mikhail's from Chaos Claw would have been a saving grace too, but it's just not happening. Control Alt Delete having really some subpar decision makings. Well, Placeholders having some subpar decision makings. Control Alt Delete actually just having blatant mistakes, both in just their play and their itemization. Here comes the Bull Rush now. Unfortunately not catching anyone. As I say, that crescendo hits. Mega Inferno Bomb will chunk them out, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. As they do catch the pick. Now Control Alt Delete finally picking up their first tower of the game thanks to some minion wave push. But it's too little too late. As it looks like Placeholders are just setting up for a Baron. And there's really nothing Control Alt Delete can do. A Miracle Steal might help delay the game. But right now, Control Alt Delete, I sound like a broken record. Their backs are against the wall. They are basically on their last legs right now. They're gasping for air. They're going into cardiac arrest. As Placeholders are slowly choking out Control Alt Delete, in all honesty. A full Seraph's finish for Spooky Spaghetti along with that Abyssal. Now, finally, an Aegis picked up from Apollo for their team, knowing that Spooky and Water Dragon are a threat. But honestly, it's a little bit too late. Apollo is picking up the Randuins instead of a Frozen Heart. A poor decision considering Sivir. They are facing a Sivir. Meanwhile, Water Dragon is already sitting on a Thornmail. And Quantum is just so far behind. And here's the Dragon attempt coming up from Team Placeholder. Apollo waiting in the wings to see if he can make a Miracle Steal. Now, if Apollo does steal this, he does not. Actually goes on. Both junglers miss-smiting, as Spooky is the one to secure that. But that's just it. Here's the Bull Rush comp. Ice Person catches Chaos Claw, forced to flash out. They do disengage nicely. But even with that, with Baron now on Team Placeholder, they can split push to their heart's content. They can just send Water Dragon maybe top lane. He does have TP available to him. Do a 1-4 or really a 1-3-1. No one can really stop Jarrett. They can send the Maokai top lane, the Sivir bot lane with the open inhib. 1-3-1 split push would end this game. They are going to do the 1-3-1, but they are sending Spooky Spaghetti. Not really a great choice in my opinion. But Team Placeholder, really far ahead at the moment. And it looks like they are going to just close out this game. Last T2 turret falls in the top lane to Spooky Spaghetti. Water Dragon just really forcing Control Alt Delete to answer. Cannon Minion doing all the work. They're just protecting that. Meanwhile, Mesu is going to try to confront Spooky Spaghetti in that top lane, but it's not enough, as Spooky Spaghetti will open up the second inhib of the game. Meanwhile, Water Dragon in the bot with 2 cannon minions, just working slowly away at it. Now, Quantum, this game really rested on Quantum and Mesu's shoulder. Mesu did his best to stall out the game, but Quantum getting caught out just too much, not building a QSS. Again, gets Twisted Advance on. Has so much feel, but they go on. Will pick up Water Dragon for their efforts, but Placeholder just wreaking havoc in their base. And I don't see Team Placeholder not being able to close this out. It's going to be GG, well played. Team Placeholder will pick up the first game here in week 5. Alright guys.